All within a year, I was able to stack savings, eliminate thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of consumer debt, and also buy my first car cash, all thanks to the legacy financial allocation system. I've been utilizing this system for quite some time now, and is I've seen success. I'm just being honest. I've seen a lot of tremendous success. Me and my wife been utilizing this, and we've done it times two. So it's been really good to us. So I would like to share it with you all. I just dropped it on Thanksgiving. I want to just show my gratitude for everyone that's been supporting me and all the well wishes and all the support I've been receiving. It's been a really great thing, and I really appreciate that. So now this is my gift to you all for the holiday season, and hopefully this can help you and your family and all your loved ones as much as it has impacted me and my loved ones. But before we get started, I wanted to just kind of go over why it's important for you to have a financial allocation system, period, right? We don't want to just budget. We don't want to just rice and beans, rice and beans, rice and beans, rice and beans, and not enjoy our lives. We want to have an actual system that allows us to enjoy life while also allocating our finances appropriately and doing what we know we should do on a day-to-day basis, just so it can be tracked and measured. Because what gets tracked and measured gets grown, right? So if we want to grow, we have to know what's going on. So in order for us to grow ourselves, we have to what? Know ourselves, right? So you want to make sure that all your money has a place. Every dollar, every cent should be spent for specific allocations. We'll go over here soon about all the steps to utilize this to make sure that you're optimizing this worksheet to the best of your ability. You just want to make sure that every dollar, every cent is accounted for just as such a business. You are a businessman. You know what I'm saying? You are a business man, not just a businessman. You're a business man. So, with that being said, with no further ado, we're gonna get right into it. Um, so welcome to the Legacy Hustle Financial Allocation System. This template is used for investing, saving, and allocating for the lifestyle that you're living. So this right here is the legacy system guide. This is the basically the instructions of how to actually utilize the worksheet so that you can make sure you're getting the most from the worksheet. That's my goal. I want you to get the most from this. So please stay tuned. So step one, you enter your income. So maybe you have job income, business income, side hustle income. This will automatically calculate as a total income, right? So personal finance is personal. So maybe you have one job income or one main income, or maybe you have two or three, depending if you're an entrepreneur with businesses or other cash inflow um, opportunities. So you'll enter your income first, right? Step two, you want to enter in your fixed expenses. So your fixed expenses are expenses that don't change on a monthly. You know exactly the amount you will be paying per month or per week or whatever that pay frequency is, right? A car note would be an example of a fixed expense, phone insurance, etc. Right? You want to utilize that, and it will calculate the total expenses, the total fixed expenses, right? Then step three, we're going to move on to the variable expenses. The variable expenses. So step three, we're going to move on to the variable expenses, the flexible spending, the gas, the groceries, the personal spending, seasonal funds. The system will automatically calculate the total here as well. And then we'll be moving on to step four, the automated savings and investing. So these are your disciplined contributions, like your retirement accounts, your high yield savings accounts, your brokerage contributions, your investment funds. This is automated. Automation is required here. And let's go back to why this is important, because it's a psychological factor here. When you get paid, and your employer takes the taxes out, well, technically the government pulls the taxes out of your paycheck. Your employer is taking it out and paying the government with those taxes, right? You're paying taxes on your money before you actually get your net pay. You have to treat this automatic and savings category as a bill. You have to pay yourself first. You have to pay your future self first. You can't go into it thinking that it's a separate entity. It is a must. You must pay yourself first. That is absolutely important for you to optimize this worksheet at the highest level, right? So after you put into your automatic savings and investment, now we have the fun stuff, the overflow allocation system, right? This is the remaining income. So it's split into your cash cow, which is your growth account, or your housing for a down payment, or you're building up your emergency fund, or optional buckets if you already have a home that you already own and you're not building up a down payment for, or you already have your emergency fund. Maybe you use this optional bucket for vacations or Christmas gifts or Christmas presents for the entire year, or the different seasonal funds, right? Um, so step 6 is fun and food. So this is the guilt-free spending. It's very important that you include this. This includes eating out, entertainment, your personal treats, just the social spending out with your friends, out with your buddies, or your lifestyle enjoyment. This amount this amount is calculated after the bills and the savings and the investments and the overflow contributions. It's important that you calculate this afterwards. You can't pay yourself funding food and then allocate afterwards, because more times than none, it's a little bit of month left over the money, right? So you got more month than money left over usually if we go this route. So we want to make sure that we are we're calculating this appropriately in the correct order, right? So the purpose of this category is to prevent financial burnout, encourage healthy balance, and allow enjoyment while staying disciplined. So you may spend this freely, but within the limit provided. That's very important. This is your permission to enjoy life responsibly while building wealth. Discipline without joy creates resistance. Balance creates sustainability. That's very important because we are coming at a balanced perspective. We want a leveraged approach. We don't want to rice and beans, rice and beans, rice and beans, rice and beans, and just save. And we don't want to just overspend on food and be glutton with our opportunities. We want to make sure that we're mixing it up. We're having fun in the present, the gift of the present, and we're also paying tribute to our future selves and giving our future selves that stability that we will need in the future. We will need this in the future. So the dashboard, we'll go over that a little later, and it's going to be a donut, and it's going to show the shares of the spending, and it's going to be very important for optimizing later, so we can understand how this system works and how we can actually utilize it to improve our finances, track our finances, but also learn how to improve them as well, right? So some best practices. A great thing to do is at least review this weekly, right? I'll review it a little bit more frequent because I love having a hold of my finances. It's almost like a game playing, saying, hey, how much can I save? How much can I invest? How much can I utilize to build my system, right? So it's kind of fun. You want to update this after each pay cycle. So every time you get paid, fill this sheet out. You create a new tab, you just copy here, right? It'll ask you to copy, and you just copy, right? You copy it over. And once you copy it over, excuse me. Once you copy it over, you update it with the current categories of bills and those automatic investments going through step 1 through 6, and you just update it for that pay period. Now, I want you to really zone into this. Focus on consistency. Do not focus on perfection. Just get started. Get on it now, because if you are patient, disciplined, and most importantly, consistent, you will be able to grow your finances and actually know your finances and feel more free. It's not about how much you make. It's about what you're willing to do. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to do on a daily basis to make sure that you're improving your daily habits? Because it's only a few daily disciplines. If you follow that concept, patience, discipline, consistency, and plug and play into this system, you will see success, right? So you'll also come down here and see the contact and support. You see the brand name, my name, the email, our Instagram, and our website. Our website has our newsletter. It has the budget template, the financial allocation, the legacy hustle financial allocation budget template for free. Just enter in your email and you can download it for free and start building your legacy today. If you have any questions or you have any additional requests for customization, personal customization of the worksheet, or if you just have any questions for coaching support, you can set up and book on my calendar, on my Calendly. Um, just reach out. So let's get to it. The Legacy Hustle Financial Allocation System. So as we mentioned before, we have to start with our income. What are we making? So our job income, you can have business income, you can have hustle income. And let's just say for the sake of the scenario today that our job income brings us in about $5,000. Okay. Our business income brings us in at about $3,000. Excuse me. And our hustle income brings us about $2,000. So we're at about $10,000 for this individual today. And let's go to step two, our fixed expenses. So our fixed expenses are expenses that don't change. They're like our rent, our mortgage, our insurances, our gym memberships, phone bills, uh, expenses like those. I do want to point out that you can put a payment date for the month for that specific category or that line item inside these expenses or any of the expenses moving forward. You can put dates beside them. That's totally optional. That's up to you. Personal finance is personal. So whatever works for you, you do so that you can grow your legacy, right? So let's just go through and say our rent was 2,000. We're keeping everything else the same. Our lawyer fee, our car note is 350, and our phone bill 110. Let's just say we actually changed daycares and now it's costing us $100. Right. So now that's updated for our fixed expenses. Now let's move on to our variable expenses. Let's just say all of these expenses stay the same, and our variable expenses are our expenses that change from month over month, such as your water bill or light bill or gas bill, something that's metered or that has variations is our variable expense and is a part of our variable expenses. And let's just say we're going to keep that the same for the sake of this scenario. Um, and let's move on to fixed automatic investment savings accounts. Let's just say that for our high yield savings account, we were previously doing $500 in contributions, but this month we have some other goals and we know we may have a vacation coming up where we know we'll be out of town spending a little bit more money and we want to kind of allocate that a little later. So let's just say in the brokerage account we still give it $750 to keep those investments accruing, and we have an investment fund of $250. And we're also going to look into this as a retirement account. Let's just say that's our retirement account is our investment fund, right? We have an investment fund and retirement accounts. And we're putting in $1,500 into this total fixed automatic investment and savings account. So the fixed automatic savings accounts can include investment accounts, brokerage and investment accounts, savings accounts, retirement accounts. Any of those accounts we want to include in this area, the fixed automatic investment savings accounts. So let's look at our total expense automatic investment outflow, and we are spending $4,824. The amount after the bills will be $5,176, right? And let's just say our contribution here Our overflow contribution, see, it's green here, so we can actually enter here. If it's gray, we don't enter. We do not enter in our gray areas. So anywhere you see gray, we do not enter, right? We do not enter in any gray areas, and it denotes here, do not enter here, because those are predetermined formulas that allow you to plug into the system and play easily. Those are there to protect you, right? Those are there to actually make this customizable for your particular worksheet. So let's just say we are okay with this overflow and we keep it the same. And actually, no, we're going to change this to $4,000. Okay. All right. And that leaves us with $1,176 in our fun and food guilt-free spending. Guilt-free. This is what we spend and we don't think about it. We do what we want. That's how we get to enjoy the now while we're planning for the future, right? So I'm gonna move this over here. And this is the extra money contribution allocation. If you check and see that same 4,000 is the overflow capital contribution that will be split into our saving goals. For this particular person, their saving goal is cash cow contribution and house down payment and emergency fund, right? Yours could be a vacation to the Bahamas, and it could be the house and emergency fund. Depends on your personal goal. Like I always say, personal finance is personal, and you should do what works best for you. So for this scenario, we're going to use cash cow and down payment and emergency fund for this individual. The overflow contribution is $4,000. Their previous cash cow balance was $11,256.59. And their house and emergency fund previous balance was $4,433.91, right? Anywhere you see white, you're able to update those figures. So you can update these sides just as we mentioned over to the left side. We were able to update the categories. You're able to update these categories to fit your personal goals, right? And you're able to update the previous balance of the first saving goal and the second savings goal. And last but not least, you're able to update the percentages. So if that's 80%, this has to be 20% of that $4,000. And it automatically updates. It updates to say that, hey, out of that $4,000, we are allocating $3,200 to our cash cow contribution, updating our cash cow contribution previous from that $11,256.59 to $14,456.59. That's a total balance now. We also have our house and emergency fund at 20%, which gave us $800 total to this fund, bringing our new grand total to $5,233.91. Now, when we go down here to the allocation share, this is very, very, very important because this is how you will optimize your plan. You will see where your spending is. You have to understand, in order to grow yourself, you have to know yourself. So it's best to let this do its work. Let it do its job. Let it do its job. Now we see that cash cow contribution is 32% of our total take home pay, which is great. That's a great number. But we could track these KPIs, right? And we could say, hey, listen, our fun and food was 11.8%. We feel like we're squeezing. I think we have a few dollars that we can give back to fun and food. And maybe you go to the right here and you say, okay, well, fun and food, we hungry. We're not having any fun. We want to enjoy the now as well as plan for the future. So what we do, we go back here to overflow and say, okay, out of this $5,176, that's the amount after bills. How much do we really have to save? Let's just say, you know what? We can extend an extra $1,000. That gives you 21.8% to your funded food now. So let's go over here, and now we see that we have our 3,000 instead of our 4,000 in our overflow capital contribution category. Preloaded 3,000. When you look at this 80% and 20%, you see that 2,400 now is going into our cash cow, and $600 is going into our house and emergency fund, and it changes the donut, right? We see now that our contribution shifted more to our funded food, which is 21.8. And let's just say if we set a KPI or a key performance indicator, because we are a business, if we set this KPI, we can measure it and track that progress to achieve those targets and hit those goals and hit those targets, right? So we can say, hey, we want to keep funded food under 25%. Hey, we hit our KPI for the month. Now we can actually measure our progress. And if we are over that threshold, then maybe we need to dial back and go back in and say, hey, where can we cut here as far as expenses or funding food to achieve that goal of increasing that cash cow contribution to over 30%, right? Or maybe we want to stay under 30% for funding food, and maybe we're at 35%, and maybe we can say, hey, you know what? Let me shift that money towards our cash cow or another goal that's important at that time. So it depends on your personal situation, but all in all, this donut will allow you to optimize this worksheet, right? This donut automatically updates compared to everything that's in this allocation table, right? We see where our allocation will come from, and we can also see our total expenses over here, as well as our automatic investment and savings accounts and our overflow that shows up on our donut. So if you have any questions, please reach out. Utilize the instructions worksheet to reach out to us to ask for maybe some customizations or any questions that you have, because we do host one-on-one coaching calls to help walk individuals through this worksheet to help them optimize this to the best of their ability. So thank you for watching, and peace and love always.